Hello and welcome to The Worst Movie Ever Made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind, to find the worst movie ever made, and we found it. I'm your host, Chris Akmanan, joined by my co-hosts and fellow mad scientists, Rob Scucci and Bob Hassick. Hey guys, how are you, and what the fuck?
I'm going to tell you a long... it's not long. It's a story about a procedure my son had to undergo. He's had some... I've alluded to some stomach issues he's had since he's been born. It's been like this whole thing going to different doctors, being referred to this in a round robin to the same 5 different doctors. So he had to get a endoscopy and a colonoscopy and go under general anesthesia. To prep him for this, we had to get Gatorade bottles, just a Gatorade or Powerade, 16 ounce with 2 caps of Miralax in it. And for those of you who don't know, if you're an adult who has problems going to the bathroom, you take 1 cap and you're good. So we gave him 2 caps and 16 ounces of Gatorade and a suppository, right? And then basically, if he does not poop after that, you have to repeat. we gave him about 24 ounces, which is 4 caps of Miralax and 3 suppositories, and just a bone-shattering bowel movement to clean him out for this appointment that he had to undergo yesterday, right? I'm only bringing this up because we're alluding to rivers of shit. And the river of shit we're wading through this week is Battlefield Earth. Also, my cat's dead. Bob?
Oh, I'm sorry about your cat. I really am sorry about the cat. It's horrible news.
Traumatic core memory that I will talk about later.
Sorry,
okay.
Sorry, buddy.
After watching this movie, I have only 2 questions. Who am I, and why am I here?
We're going to try to suss that out. We start first with YouTube comments.
Sure. You know what? I don't care what the haters say. I think Catwoman was great. All right, I have 5. Couple are long, then they go short. 1, I found this movie recorded onto a home video, VHS in quotes, tape, when I was a kid, and I never knew the name as a result, but when I remembered the movie, I just had to look it up because as a 90s kid, I also thought it was cool as a child, simply because there was post-apocalyptic cavemen flying Harrier jets, fighting alien invaders, action in general. Just like a kid watching Power Rangers, for example, the plot/storyline was lost on me. It's too bad that even the power of nostalgia couldn't redeem this film watching as an adult. Yet, in a strange twist, the fact it's so terrible did redeem it, and it now holds a special place as my benchmark example of it's so bad it's good. I will destroy the brain cells of those closest to me by sharing this unpolished shitball with them. Number 2. After watching this film, I feel like thetans inside me have been adequately audited, and I am ready for the next step in my Scientology journey. Thank you, Mr. Travolta. Thank you, L. Ron Hubbard. 9 out of 10. Needed more.
Dutch angle.
And page wipes. Number 3. How are you going to charge me $4 to watch this? You should be paying me $4 to watch this. Number 4, I read the book, enjoyed the movie. Films are personal. People get what they want from them. A lot of information in this one. Boardroom scene is one of my favorites. As you see, we're progressing towards mental illness.
Yeah.
The final number 5. This is one of the best movies ever made.
Oh my god. Well, the title of our podcast says otherwise.
Okay.
Test number 1, the worst of its kind. Okay, so if you're a diehard, we've already done Battlefield Earth. We did this in our, second season or something like that.
It was episode 26 or something like that, yeah.
I think it was 12. I think it was that early.
You might be right.
It's really bad. Don't listen to it.
Yeah, that's not bad.
We had no idea what we were doing back then. There were funny moments and stuff, but man, we were pretentious, to say the least. Everything was so highbrow, and over-explained, and it was just convoluted.
I mean, that's typically me in my day-to-day life, so I'm owning up to it.
I guess this is me owning up to it, but I don't know. It's still really funny. Go listen to it. Don't listen to it. I don't know.
I listened to it. I enjoyed it.
The worst movie ever made.com.
I listened to it and I hadn't even seen the movie. What's that say about me?
I don't know. We're trying to figure out who you are. So there's one element that we've discovered. Waterworld is another one that we did already that I would love to do again under this new, better format. That's Kevin Costner, 45%. May put it up at some point. Yeah. And we'll send it to the poll and see if people want to hear us do that one over.
Yeah.
The Quick and the Dead. I'm actually not familiar with that one. But it has Gene Hackman and Leonardo DiCaprio, a couple other well-known actors. And they got a 58, which isn't that bad. Okay. I'm just totally unfamiliar with them. Yeah, not great. Great, though, apparently Operation Condor with Jackie Chan. Got an 80. Yeah.
What?
80%.
No.
I haven't seen it.
Me either.
Lone Wolf McQuade with Chuck Norris. Just about as good as The Quick and the Dead at 57%.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then The Sixth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger comes in at a measly 40%. For an average of 56%. Battlefield Earth, guys. Any idea?
I don't remember what it was, but based on YouTube, 65.
I feel like this is like single digit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go say 9.
3% more. 3% more than I think it deserves.
That's 3% less than Christmas with the Cranks.
Yeah,
that one you remember.
Yeah,
right.
More recent. Yeah,
negative 53, and worst of its kind. No surprise. Huge score. It's going to be a hard one to beat. Say it beats The Phantom. Let's throw it to test number 2. Ain't that a pitch?
I remember it because that was our guest with Kendra Crump, who had a heart out midway through the show. Anyway.
Yes, she did.
Now ain't that a pitch?
That was Kevin. That was our guest on Cranks.
Oh, I'm thinking Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way.
Okay,
yeah.
never mind.
Okay.
Kevin was great, but
yes.
Christmas with the Crumbs.
Kendra did Kindra? I think it was Kindra.
I
don't know.
Kendra.
She cared not much for our podcast, so I cared not much for the pronunciation of her name. Sorry if you still listen. All right, who's going first?
I'll go.
Okay.
I think I went last time, right? Or something like that. Right. There once was a sci-fi thriller with Psychlos who were man-animal killers. They loved to eat rats so long as there were no trans fats, but this movie should have died with the bomb filter.
That's pretty good.
All right, I'll go next. You'll know where this is going right away. There once was a man animal who acts rowdy. All the other man animals ran their traps loudly. Travolta's acting is the worst. The franchise forever cursed. Battlefield Earth is simply crap lousy.
Yeah. Nice. I have something for that.
Crap lousy. Yes. I hope you play that 100 times. All right, here's mine. There it is. There once was an alien Psychlo named Turl who enslaved humans to help him find gold on this world. The humans did resist. You get the gist. Just give us more scenes with that 9-foot long-tonguey girl.
Chris, 4.5.
Yeah, I'll go Chris for 4.
Sweet, 4.25.
I'm sorry, 4.5. 4.5.
All right, 4.5.
So 4.5. Nice.
Yeah, that's even better because it's better for me and it's better for the Battlefielders scores when we compare it to other movies later.
I want Chris to win. I want this movie to lose.
Nice. Yeah. I like it.
And Chris. Okay. Woo. Test number 3. Most offensive.
What was that again? That's what I thought you said. I'm offended.
This, I feel, is a category where other movies might be able to swing back, but that doesn't mean that there wasn't anything offensive here. There was plenty.
Yeah.
The fact of the lack of black characters was bad for me. Forrest Whitaker, yes. He's kind of a clumsy second hand who is not supposed to be a very intelligent character. He is eventually the security chief for Johnny Goodboy Tyler at the end. So I guess he does well for himself, even having lost a hand. There's another black character who is a bartender who loses his head, and there's a black character who is a tribesman who is shot and killed on the roof, and that, I think, sums up the entire black cast.
Is the bartender a black character? I feel like he's not.
I don't know. He is a minority character in the American classical sense, but I thought he was black. Maybe he's
right.
not.
Well, the black actor that dies on the roof at the end is the same one that gives Johnny his air in the one mining scene.
Yes.
And I feel like it was forced. I feel like they felt like they had to put that in.
Yeah. Well, it didn't get by me.
No, me neither.
Number 2, Chrissy, that's Pepper's squeeze piece, is given the patronizing Patroclus watch the ship charade. So right in the beginning, she wants to come and help him, find greener pastures, whatever he's doing. Right. And he's like, "Oh no, I think you're better than most fighters, but I need you to stay with the tribe and keep them safe." It gets worse. It gets worse, but I'll save that for later in the test. 3, misplaced McDonald's marketing.
Yep.
Super weird. You guys caught the Golden Arches conversation
in the mall, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah, they're headed to the mall. Yeah, they're about to walk into the mall, and they're like, there was a Golden Arches place where the food came out instantaneously, or something. It was like it's bad product placement. Yeah. Number 4, pulverizing your opponent, then pushing his puss into the prison paste.
Hey.
I mean, good on you for reestablishing a more fair hierarchy in the prison, but to push his entire head into the sludge that people are about to eat when he hasn't had any porn water this week for sure. So
knowing now what we know about COVID, that's just a bad look.
Well, also he seemed pretty defeated, like insult to injury. I agree with Chris.
Yeah, a little ridiculous. Why buy 5 wives at number 5?
Oh, okay. Right. That was 5? Whitaker, right?
Yeah, it was. I'm going to return to that as well. Number 6, Clinko language slavery. It's worse than that, though. The Clinko's language slave is alluding to the fact that his entire species is probably extinct because they've been wiped out. So Turl has, or the Psychlos have him record a speech before they kill him, and it's an introduction to the knowledge machine thing. Yeah. So it's total annihilation and hologram slavery. It seems like a really bad deal for the Clinko.
Yeah, it was hysterical. Like just the penitent of it. Like, you're a much better being than I am.
Yeah, the superior voice and language of the Psychlos. All right, a couple more. Chrissy immediately. Okay, so this is to kind of tailgate on the squeeze piece getting patronized. She is also Chrissy immediately caught with caricature art, and that it so. She does get a chance to go out and prove herself and is immediately caught. And what's worse is she has her a handmade drawing of Johnny on her, which was apparently enough to identify him, although it looked nothing like him in my opinion. Right. It's like charcoal on leather.
Let's get the South Park bingo in early when they had the junior detective agency and they're trying to find the girl's missing doll, and Kenny's doing the police sketch. It's a stick figure with massive tits.
Oh man. Okay. To return to the 5 wives, the 5 wives are fireable. Apparently, you hire and fire wives in this universe.
Yeah,
I must have missed that.
Oh, that's what Kerr plans on doing with his 20% of the gold or whatever.
Oh, okay.
He's going to fire his wives and get pretty ones this time, he said.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
I'm going to ask for mentions because I do have a clip, but I don't want to play it until the very end of this test.
Okay.
If you guys got nothing, we'll throw it right to the clip number.
I think I got mostly catch-all because I'm kind of numb to this movie as far as what's offensive and what's not. But I think we'll cover it at some point.
Okay.
Yeah. I have nothing extra.
Okay. This clip is called Ground Beef.
It's the rotisserie.
Okay. You will soon be relocated to a new mining site. And if any of you get any bright ideas about escaping, just keep in mind, But although you know nothing about firearms, I certainly do. I graduated top marksman in my class, and I can kill any one of you at over 1,000 paces. Tell them what I said.
Try to run, he'll kill us.
That's it? Yes. Allow me to demonstrate.
He's just blowing the legs off of cows.
Yeah.
The first one that they show, Rob and I said this on the first episode, but it looks like, you know, those traps where you set up a stick in a box and you put a string on the stick so you pull it away to catch a squirrel or whatever if you're out in the wild.
Yeah.
The cow leg looked like that, like the stick.
Yeah.
Somebody just like the team that put together that practical effect did a terrible job because the stick just like comes loose and like pulls away. It's such a cheesy animation. Yeah. It was great.
I want to say something about this real quick. So I write for MovieWeb. I'm like an evergreen writer. I talk about older properties just to like get like traffic to the site and stuff. And I pitched an article on Battlefield Earth just because we're watching it, so it's fresh in my mind. And normally they approve all my pitches, but this one he's like, this one seems like a hit piece, and it's not really good for PR, so I'm gonna have to decline. Because I talked about this scene specifically in my subheader pitches, and he's like, we can't do this. We can't do this.
It absolutely is a hit piece for sure.
Yeah. I told my editor, sorry, I woke up and chose violence, but I'll come up with a different topic this week.
Unbelievable. Unless there's nothing else to be said about that scene, which is just too funny. I'm gonna, when I watch this episode on YouTube, I'm gonna rewind that particular scene a few times. I think it's just so funny. He shoots one cow leg off behind his back. He does the like behind the back pistol shot to a cow leg. What's worse though, and I don't know that I mentioned it, is that after the guys, the tribe from the forest come out and tackle Turl to the ground, Johnny gets his gun, and Johnny gives the gun back to Turl instead of just shooting him, which I don't know. I guess his grand plan involves Turl, so he needs him or whatever, but really, really ridiculous spot. Yeah. Offensive to me. Okay, test number 4. Let's get into it. The worst dialogue.
It's the worst dialogue.
Yeah.
Okay, impossible to separate acting and script.
Fair.
Here. Yeah. So forgive me. For both tests, the dialogue and the acting is bad. I mean, I think that Travolta did way too much. I think it's hilarious. I don't think it's good acting. I mean, he can act well, so can Forrest Whitaker, but maybe it's all dialogue, maybe it's direction. I don't know, but it's terrible.
Yeah.
But let's focus in on some of the script with number 5. This one's called Bricks. 5.
Why is it in bars?
I assume, sir, that the Psychlo of your refinement wouldn't settle for anything as coarse as raw ore.
Really? Well, since you rat brains have had enough extra time to smelt it into bricks, I will now expect the rest of the gold in 7 days.
Nice.
That so awesome. I love the device he uses that like talks, kind of. Yeah. I think maybe it was another job for the Clinko language slave before they got rid of him, but he runs the little machine over the gold and it's like it's gold. It's solid gold. But yeah, I mean obviously the real gold in that segment was the smelt it into bricks.
He who smelt it.
Ridiculous though. He gives him another 7 days to double it because he's supposed to have the cage half full at this point. Yeah. But shouldn't you be on to his game at this point? What did they use to smelt it into bricks?
Well,
why not explore this a little further?
catch-all moment. If they have a freaking gamma ray that identifies gold, why couldn't they just have flown over that fucking area and just found out where the gold is?
That's a fair question. Yeah, if they have the technology, it should be long range as well.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of testing, this is our next clip. This is number 4. A test?
How about giving your old teacher a clue as to who this might be?
You insult yourself, sir. You know you taught me better than that.
How the hell am I supposed to know who it is?
I don't know.
It could be anybody on this damn planet. It could be a mechanic.
No.
It could be a concubine. It could be anybody in the communications office.
Wrong.
I hate these things. I feel like it's a test that I'm not prepared for. Well, hell, it could even be our friendly bartender.
Please, I made a mistake.
Now, give me the original disc, then meet me at the teleportation platform in 2 hours.
Sir?
I wonder what he does during those 2 hours while he's waiting.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Also, I like that they tell time in human quantification.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's true.
But, yeah. Our friendly bartender, and he pulls
Friendly bartender!
pulls the guy's head out, and then shoots Forrest Whitaker's hand off, which couldn't look more proppy. It's another pull string stick, and Whitaker's Kerr reacts not at all to just having his hand blown off.
Yeah,
super weird.
kind of like I deserved that.
Yeah,
yeah, pretty much. Okay, sir. See you in 2 hours. Any one of these 3 coming up here could have been number 1. Let you decide what the worst of these 3 is, but I do have an order. So clip number 3. Galaxies.
Yes.
You haven't left for Psychlo.
Your powers of observation are simply startling. Give me 3 pans to go.
I don't know what you're so down about. You still get to be head of security, which, from what I can tell, is a pretty cushy job.
Well, I can assure you that I was not groomed since birth to have some cushy job that even a moron like you could perform. While you were still learning how to spell your name, I was being trained to conquer galaxies. To do anything less is a disgrace to my entire family line.
It'll be 6 credits.
Put it on my tab.
But you don't have a tab.
I do now.
Spell your name.
I was being trained to conquer galaxies.
I have a tab now, and your head very soon.
Yeah. Wow. What are they thinking? What kind of drugs are they passing around the set of Battlefield Earth? I've said this on the pod before, but it's that like stage acting where you need to really belt out.
You need to project to the back.
To hit the back. That's what he's doing there, but I don't have any idea why.
It really gave me. Go ahead.
He's going very Shakespearean, you know.
It gave me the vibe from that Frasier episode when the guy who was like the sci-fi star, but like they recognized him from being on stage doing Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And then like he retired and they want to bring him out of retirement to bring back his like love for Shakespeare. And like he's like, to be or not to be.
Yeah.
He's just fucking awful because they remembered it through rose-colored glasses. And he's just
You know what episode I thought you were talking about was the one where they had to try to get tickets and they were unable, but they still wanted to go to the show afterwards. Like they went to go to the house party or whatever. So the actor comes up to them. Yeah, the actor comes up to them and they're like, "What was your favorite part?" And then Frasier has to come up with some way of like, you know, faking that he was in the audience the whole time. It's super cringy, but it's really funny. All right. Clip number
2.
There we go. Renewal.
Are you not aware that I graduated top of my class?
Quite an accomplishment.
I don't mean to second guess the Home Office, but surely I could be of better service to the corporation.
Home Office is well aware of your academic achievements and obvious talents. That's why we've decided not to keep you here for another 5 cycles.
It's a joke.
Oh, thank you, sir. I don't know if I could have kept my sanity to be here another 5 cycles.
We've decided to keep you here for another 50 cycles. With endless options for renewal. With endless options for renewal. With endless options for renewal.
Oh my god.
The best part's the tightly wound violin. Like you hear when frickin' Reagan's crawling down the stairs backwards on the edge. All he was told was that he has job security for 50 years. And like,
well, I like how they talk about 50 cycles here, but in a few more scenes, it's minutes and hours.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. So there's quarter cycle. They also mentioned, which I feel like it's a cycle is just 1 year, but we have no idea how long it takes Planet Psychlo to take a trip around its star.
Yeah.
So what is a cycle? We have no idea, but they do use hours and minutes in this movie, so it leads you to think it might be similar to the 365, but I don't have a clue.
Yeah,
but
it's almost like they didn't actually take into consideration continuity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
very
let's not
good
go that
point,
far, Bob. Dude, the actor. I mean, I've seen this guy who does the the monologuing there before. I couldn't pinpoint. Do you guys know what he's from? I feel like he's from other things.
I didn't look him up.
He's got
he seemed familiar.
He's got a great voice for the kind of. They cast him well, I think. It's just that there's too many, syringes involved.
There's only so much you could do. Yeah.
Yeah.
In this movie, there's just too much craziness going on. I thought it was also odd that they pulled in the slow-mo here. I think it was the first time that they pulled not slow-mo for the movie, but like the slow-mo repeat dialogue to emphasize it. And you're not on Turl's side. So I feel like the effect is supposed to give you the wow, you're really going to drown in hell forever, but it's on Earth with us, conceivably. It just doesn't work at all. I don't get it. So
and the fact that they had the scene in a
Dutch angle
also was kind of jarring.
So glad. Any Dutch angle from now on in any movie.
Yeah.
Apparently, this movie is full of them. By the way, that was one of the notes. It was all shot in Dutch angle to make it look more like a comic book.
Yeah.
That's true. I guess, right. Yeah, that's gonna come up in the catch-all for sure. All right, I'm not gonna waste any more time on this. I'm gonna go to clip number 1. Give us a drum roll. This is the profoundly ridiculous Kerbango.
Ah, yes. Kerr, I'd like to meet Cher. She's
his soon-to-be newly acquired secretary.
Yes.
Really?
She's stupid enough not to be a menace, good-looking enough to be decorative. She gets drunk with economical speed.
And has other advantages.
I can see that.
Don't you have some work to do?
No.
Kerr?
All right, sir.
Now listen, Missy. I'm still waiting for the planet ship's accounts.
I had to go way beyond the Call of Duty to get these.
I see. Well, That's why I especially chose you.
So you'll keep your side of the bargain?
Which was?
You said we were going to have a huge house when we go back to Psychlo next year. We're going to be rich, right?
Right.
I am going to make you as happy as a baby Psychlo on a straight diet of Kerbango.
It's so unimaginative. Like, things that they've introduced to us already are obviously in the dialogue that she says there. A baby Psychlo on a straight diet of Kerbango. Kerbango is the only drink that exists, and they don't have food, apparently.
Yeah.
I've never seen a Psychlo eat anything, and the only thing I've seen them ever drink is Mountain Dew.
Kerbango.
I mean, Kerbango.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have mentioned in Most Offensive that she had to go above the Call of Duty with Planet Ship. The guy, that nasty dude with like 47 chins, she had to like blow him for extra information, something like that.
Oh, that guy's so gross.
Yeah, but I also love Turtles. She gets drunk with economical speed. She is decorative. She's too dumb to be a menace, and like she's sitting right next to him. Like there's no way she doesn't hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
But that whole thing is such a mess. The fact that those two segments are within a minute of each other is unbelievable. And then lastly, Turtle introduces Kerr to Chur. Okay, all that in one clip there. Rob, throw it to your ad read, bro.
Oh, we're doing something a little different. I have a classic ad read.
Oh, baby.
I have a new tag under my bumpers called sandbagging, and that's where like I have clips like
I like dongs
and
sentient.
And so here's my I clip myself. I'm not omitting myself from the sandbagging. So here's my old ad read for Battlefield Earth, episode 12, I think. The worst movie ever made.com.
Yeah.
Okay, so on to your ad read, bud.
All right, well, real quickly first, do you see what I'm drinking here? This is the new...
Oh, my God, is that...
It's the new Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. It says
it looks like some kind of Mountain Dew.
Yeah, so I'm bringing this up because Coca-Cola changed the formula on their Coke Zero to zero sugar, and it tastes like absolute fucking dog shit.
I still drink it, though.
I only bring this up because today's episode is brought to you by a new sponsor, Kerbango. That's right, Kerbango. Feeling a little blue? Then put 2 or 3 on Turtle's tab and let her rip. Kerbango comes in 2 flavors, green and diet green. It'll go beyond the Call of Duty for all your man-animal taming needs. Lonely? Kerbango. Space embezzlement? Kerbango. Man-animals learning Psychlo language and organizing a revolt using your own tools and weapons against you after smuggling gold from Fort Knox to a completely different mining site, and nobody seriously questions how the fuck it was smelted without adequate tools or machinery in the first place? Kerbango. It's basically just liquefied lead.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, it was a classic. I found myself laughing at exactly the same point as the first time. Awesome. All right, test number 5, the worst production.
No need to add in scripts or budgets, 'cause now it's time for the worst production.
Yeah.
The worst production, it took a lot of effort to not just say Battlefield Earth.
Real, honestly.
So I'm going to say the first thing that came to my mind when I was watching this, it was in a scene soon after Johnny learned all the stuff from the learning machine.
Yes.
Using a movie to advertise your religion.
Yeah, okay.
That is my worst production. So L. Ron Hubbard wrote Dianetics.
Yep.
And if you don't know anything about Dianetics, if you weren't a child of the 80s/90s,
we do. We're South Park fans.
Yeah,
yes.
You didn't see the commercials, the non-stop L. Ron Hubbard commercials during all of your sitcom and daytime watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is before L. Ron Hubbard's passing. And then he wrote Battlefield Earth. But so Dianetics was like the groundwork for Scientology, and then Battlefield Earth was apparently a throwback to just regular sci-fi. But regular sci-fi doesn't have all the nods to Scientology that this does. Like the whole triangle thing, like when he was like just learned the language, he's like triangles.
Yes.
It's the basis of everything. And then I find out that triangles are a big part of Scientology. And
I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah. So there's a lot of Scientology shit going on here. Aside from the fact that they don't swear, I think that's part of a sci-fi thing. Based on what I talked to a couple friends about.
Yeah.
I guess general sci-fi doesn't like to use bad language, so they use the word like crap hole and crap lousy.
Battlestar Galactica used frack a lot. Like, what's the fracking deal with whatever? Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's better.
It's a little better. It is. At least it rhymes.
Yeah.
I mean, right away when this movie started, that one guy that we don't know who the actor is starts saying, "This is the biggest crap hole out of all the crap holes I've seen." I'm like, crap hole? What's that mean? And then I heard crap lousy like 2 times, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is purposeful. This has something to do with the religion. It has to. I couldn't find any link to the religion with bad language, but the religion has these 21 tenets that sound a lot like the 10 Commandments, but watered down.
Right.
And not being promiscuous is one of the tenets. And I feel like this has to fall in that category somewhere.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm sorry to be so anti-religion, but
no, that's fine. Don't worry about that with us.
It just really felt like this was just a big advertisement for Scientology. Like math will solve our problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome that you picked that out and didn't just say Battlefield Earth, because you totally could have copped out and you would have been right. I mean, it's one of the tenets of Battlefield Earth to force advertising for your religion into the movie. I'm glad that you said that, because I didn't really see it. I didn't know the triangle thing. I do have that scene in the catch-all, and I'll say my piece on it in a little bit. But that it is a little gross when you put it that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It is.
That's number 6, the worst acting.
Yeah.
These are kind of shorter, actually, but I think they're just as funny. Number 1, a beast.
Yeah.
This is all the medicine I can find.
I'm sorry. The gods took your father in the night.
As long as we stay here, we'll never be enough to eat. Never. There may be other places we could live. Places where the food is more plentiful.
All they would take is for one of the demons to follow you back from the Forbidden Land, and we'd all be struck down.
Have you ever seen one? Have you?
Has anyone here ever seen one? A demon! A monster! A beast!
Yeah, that's it. There you go, Barry Pepper, showing off your moves with the endless scream to the sky with his, and then which is bad enough, but then he does the like stomp song movements as he like sprays dirt all over the children.
Yeah.
Yes, worst movie ever made. Social media will have a trailer. Basically, when I saw that scene, it was so rhythmic. It was like a beast, wee, yeah, and I was like, I couldn't help it. Like, this is the basis of my entire trailer.
That trailer is your finest hour, and it's spawned by our lowest point in the show, basically.
Yeah. It is amazing though. It's like we went through a black hole and found there's another universe on the other side.
Yeah.
Something. All right, number 2. That wasn't as short as I thought it'd be, but Number 2, this one's probably not as short either, but number 2. 2! I'll be damned.
Who is responsible for allowing this man animal to run around unsupervised?
The man animal shot the wrangler, sir.
I'm a little pressed for time. Why don't you save the going away jokes for later?
No joke, sir, I swear. The man animal somehow got a hold of his gun.
Really? Show me.
Sir.
Reach for the gun.
Sir, I might get shot.
Sure you might. And I might suddenly grow a third arm.
But sir, I swear it shot the wrangler.
File today still has my name on it. And you are out of your skull bone if you think that I'm going to write on the report, shot by man animal as the cause of death unless I see it.
If I obey your command, I may get killed.
And if you don't, it's a certainty that you will be killed. Reach for the gun. I'll be damned.
Do you get Austin Power vibes from that scene?
Yeah, absolutely. I do. I think they felt it necessary to show how evil he is this early.
Yeah.
By finding so much humor in that moment. You know, forcing him to basically do a suicide move. Otherwise, I'll kill you. Like, the chances are you have a better shot grabbing the gun than my certainty of like shooting you in the head afterwards. You know, but yeah, so it's all a building evil around Turl, but it's the laughing is so over the top. Holy shit. And he does it again later, but I don't think that he has like 3 rolls where he's like,
yeah,
and the guy's like, and he goes, again.
Yeah,
it's just so much. It's a joke.
It's a joke.
They all kind of stick together though. They're all like it's one big long laugh track.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Which is terrible. But anyway, we're moving on to number 3. This is a short one, and I feel bad because the guy's name is Kim Coates, I think. And we've had him on Waterworld. I think we've had him in a couple of spots. I like him. I don't know. There's something charismatic about the guy who plays. I said he is. We just had him on the pod for Troy because he's Achilles' his right-hand man, the leader of the Mermen.
Yeah.
And he plays Carlo in this movie. But this scene is really, really bad, and it's him. Let's take it away with number 3. This is called Yeah. Well, I think he's supposed to be, he's like in front of a couple of green screens. He's got like one behind him and one to the side of him, and he's supposed to be like looking up at the sky, and he's going to realize that there are, battleships coming into the airspace in a minute. So he has to act surprised. So, but it's like he's anticipating it while he's screaming, yeah. And you can see that he's like not sure where they're supposed to be or something while he's, the yeahs are bad enough. But watch the video clip, too, on our YouTube page, which you can access where, Rob?
theworstmovieevermade.com. Thanks for asking, Chris.
Well, check it out. Check out the video when it comes out on Sunday, and you will see what I mean. Kim Coates is kind of searching the green screen for the ships that are about to come in, and it makes it even less believable. But his celebration also is a little goofy sounding, in my opinion.
It's almost like it wasn't rehearsed. Like he was watching the director for like when to react or re-react or re-react.
Yeah. Maybe that's why it felt so. I like he had somebody breathing over his shoulder. Maybe that's a good call.
I think the director took a piss break and he was like, "Yeah, oh shit, he's not here yet. Yeah,
oh yeah,
where's he at? Yeah."
All right, let's start with the last clip. This is the last clip of the episode, actually, and it's Rob. Can you just play me that sound clip you were sandbagging?
Which one? The this one?
I like dongs. Yeah. One more time.
Angle.
Or, wait.
I like dongs.
Or we have
Dutch angle.
Sentient.
And then
No, keep going. Yeah, that one right there.
Okay.
Okay, you've heard the sample. You've heard that I like dongs. You like you like dongs too, I hope.
Yeah.
Bob, we finally got you clipped for Dutch angle. I can't wait to abuse that.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I digress. Number 4. This one is ceiling.
They know about the button camera.
Don't be a knothead. It's a man animal. You couldn't possibly know about it.
You sure call that one, sir. No way they know about the big toe camera.
Move your fat ass and let's go around the lot. Ah! Crap, lousy ceiling. I thought I told you to get some man animals in here and fix it.
You know, Crap Lousy shows up later in the movie too. I just can't think of the exact scene.
the word leverage as well. I should have clipped leverage.
Oh yeah, that's we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I said in the first really shitty, stupid episode that we did of Battlefield Earth that you can see John Travolta put his hands up before he walks into the wall because he knows it's coming, which telegraphs the whole movement in the first place. And it's an example of the worst acting we've seen on the pod. Right there next to Bob's favorite. I hate to diss him, but Dennis Hopper, when he directly looks at the camera in Super Mario Brothers, it's unbelievable. He literally puts his hands up so that he doesn't hit his head on the foam that he's walking into.
I got a clip for that too.
I'm not defending that.
There we go.
Oh, nice. Yeah, well, so what we used to do, and I don't want to over-explain like I used to, but we used to have me say the line of dialogue, and if Rob could find a way to defend it, we wouldn't count it against the movie.
Yeah.
Which is why it was so convoluted and dumb.
I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah.
We grow together. We grow and we know together, you know?
We grow a third arm. All right, let's go to fact or no fact.
This is going to be a fucking disaster. Bob is a liar. He will lie to confuse us, but he will also mix lies with the truth to attack us. His attack is psychological and powerful.
It's funny, Chris, you mentioned Dennis Hopper. I had a woman follow my Thinking Movie Scenes account on Instagram.
Yeah.
And her bio was like all things horror and something else and Dennis Hopper.
Why?
And I was like, oh no. Anyway.
The things we need to get through the day.
Battlefield Earth episode of Fact or No Fact I called Crap-Filled Earth for two reasons.
Right.
Because it is a shit-filled movie and it's crap is what they used instead of shit in this movie.
Yeah, fair enough.
This is brought to you by a friend of mine I work with. He has his own podcast. It's called The Last Comic Shop. It's a comic book podcast, so no competition with ours. He said he was in my room today, my classroom, and he said, what movie are you guys doing? I said, Battlefield Earth. And I read him the facts that I was thinking about, and he said, you should make it multiple choice. Instead of saying, here's your 5 information, just make it one statement multiple choice. I said, that's a good idea.
I like it. Yeah, I like it.
So here we go.
Being the teacher you are.
Exactly. The teacher he is, I give him a lot of credit. So the lead in is this. John Travolta referred to this film as.
Okay,
that's the lead in. And there's 5 choices.
Okay.
So John Travolta referred to this film as A, like the original Star Wars, but better. B, the Schindler's List of science fiction films. C, like Pulp Fiction for the year 3000.
Jesus Christ.
D,
this is so awesome.
D, the pinnacle of using my power for something.
Okay.
Or E, all of the above.
You threw a curveball with the E. All right, let's logic through this real quick then. I want to say on the original episode, Chris, you may have mentioned something about the Star Wars quote, but that may have been...
maybe. I don't remember. Yeah. I did wear this shirt because that's what Battlefield Earth was going for.
Okay.
And failed to produce.
I wore this shirt because the white T-shirt I had underneath didn't feel like it covered enough, and now you're filming this, so I have to wear something over top. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, we want to see, Bob. Take it off.
I have 47 black V-necks, and I wear the same thing every day.
V-necks are nice, man.
I'm a fan. I like
them.
They are. They're not as restricting as a crew neck.
It's true, and then we can see some of that tasty chest hair. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Schindler's List. I don't see the relation at all. But he did give us all the above.
I see a little.
I see. I mean, I see it, but like, I don't see it. You know.
Yeah.
Like Pulp Fiction for the year 3000, which like I don't see that either, because they didn't start at the end and fold the stuff in afterwards, and there's no Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Goal of using his power for something. Well, I do know the fact that when they were on location in Canada filming things, Travolta used his own personal finances to fund the catering for the entire crew. So he is using his power for something, and I think he's doing it because I think he thought this was his like his magnum opus at the time.
Yes, he absolutely did.
So
that I can confirm. I
want to say all of the above, but I don't.
One
know
of us
about
should
the
do
Schindler's.
it.
One of us should do it.
I don't know about the Schindler's List part.
I feel like statistically that gives us some kind of better chance if we go for the all of the above and another one of us picks it.
All right, so
I'll leave it up to you.
I'll go for all of the above then, because that's the only one I have any really doubt for. But I don't.
I do.
He does say some crazy shit. So I mean, I don't know.
He does.
Yeah.
And I know that. So this actually, I should have shut my mouth and just went with all of the above myself, because I feel like that's the answer. I don't know, the Schindler's List thing. It was total annihilation of entire race. This being the human race and not the Jewish race. So I mean, I kind of get it. It's.
Can I say why I don't think it's Schindler's List?
Yeah.
Because
when they're smuggling people out,
when they're exodusing like the man animals to the planet Psychlo, there's not like rallies of people like cheering it on, and I feel like that's a big part of Schindler's List.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Goodbye, Jews.
Louis C.K. Goodbye, Jews.
The one I don't see, the one I really don't see is Pulp Fiction 3000. But he obviously was one of the stars of the movie, so I can see him saying it. I can totally see him saying it's Star Wars, but better, because I know that that's what they wanted for the franchise. They wanted it to be a trilogy, I think, at least. I know they wanted it to be as big as Star Wars, and I believe that he would have thrown out an incendiary statement like, it'll be better than Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I can see 1 and 4, but you've already picked 5. So I'm going to cancel out the Schindler's List and Pulp Fiction because I have to pick one of the other two. And is hubris one of the 21 tenets?
No.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Damn it.
Too much Kerbango.
Kerbango, for sure. All right, I'm going to go with Star Wars, but better. Anyway.
Right.
So the original book was over 750 pages long. It was a gigantic book.
Yeah.
The Battlefield Earth book. And it was straight sci-fi, and it was meant to be at least 2 movies.
Okay.
So you're right when you say it was meant to be close to a trilogy, because it was but yeah, John Travolta really, really wanted to make this movie. It was originally opted for a film in 1982. And it just didn't make it anywhere, and then just fell flat. And Travolta in 1995, after his success in Pulp Fiction, was like, I can do this. I have the star power now. And he was right.
Yeah.
Because it's E, all the above.
All right. Holy shit! There you go, Rob. Good win, man. I told you to pick it though.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll give it to you. You're honorary. You can accept it on my behalf, Chris.
That's 1.5.
It's a team win. It's a team win.
Okay, team win.
I'm just
All
kidding.
right.
No, it's
how
Rob.
come?
Rob
How come whenever I win, it's a team win, but whenever you win, it's a clean sweep by Chris?
Well, I don't know what that is. That's weird.
So do you believe when I read that he said at press briefings that it was like the Schindler's List of science fiction films, I about fell out of my classroom chair. I couldn't believe it.
It's unbelievable. I don't get the Pulp Fiction thing either, honestly.
Maybe because they have bars of gold and we didn't know it was in the briefcase. It had that shining aura.
Very good. Yeah, he does have a coffin full of gold at some point.
Too much credit. Bingo card. No, shut up.
All right.
Bingo card. Oh, man. All right. God. I love that. Good win, team. All right. Let's throw it to the catch-all.
If you've caught one, you've caught them all. Welcome to the catch-all.
Okay. The first thing I wrote was Dutch.
Okay, I think I have a clip for that. 1 second.
Dutch angle. Dutch angle.
All right, cool.
Perfect. Yeah. Why? I guess they wanted it to look like a comic book, but why? Because it wasn't a comic book, right? It was a science fiction novel.
It was a science fiction novel, and then a screenplay, and then I don't think there was. They wanted it to look comic-y, but I don't think that was part of the origin.
Yeah, it's just odd to me, and it makes the whole movie less watchable. I think because it's a little nauseating at a certain. If you can't look straight on in any scene, you just feel like off. Yeah. All right. Greener is a lane. It's obviously for someone who thinks the grass is greener on the other side. It's a guy who lives in a cave who thinks that he can find a better life out there or something. That's Barry Pepper's Johnny Goodboy Tyler. I stress again, his name is Johnny Goodboy Tyler. The character's name. Piece of cake also wouldn't last the time passage of 1,000 years. I don't think that's a phrase that I don't think would still be around 1,000 years later. I'm pretty sure these cave guys don't know what cake is.
Yeah,
no, exactly. I thought of that same thing.
Yeah, it's dumb. There's a few of those, but that's the one that I really felt bad about. They must have only ventured from the cave in one direction if the mini golf course dragon is what kept them there.
That's a very, very good point. They've got nothing to lose, and they've been there for how long, and they're like, "Ooh!" when they see
right,
really crappy scarecrow figurines. Yeah,
and the dragon head falls down at Johnny, but that could have only ever happened once, unless someone's resetting it.
Yeah,
unless Carlo is I'll keep those cave people in their cave. I'll just keep picking up this fake dragon head. They're 2 miles away from Denver. They have no idea.
I'm just thinking Dawn of the Dead logic. They end up in a mall, right? That has a food court with kitchen equipment that if they could figure out how to maintain it, they could cook meat and raid all the stores for textiles and make clothing. They could have had all that stuff the whole time.
They could have, but they chose a cave.
Yeah.
Johnny walks into an obvious glass display in the mall. It wasn't even very see-through. He just walks right into a blue glass display with mannequins in it. The mall chase scene is green and in Dutch, and the slow motion looks like a cheap nu metal music video to me.
Yeah, it does. It really
the horse just knows where he is in the mall. He whistles and the horse was following him but staying out of sight or something. I have no idea how the horse.
A horse that's never seen stairs.
It went down 1 million levels to reach them. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, and if they're staying in that 2 mile radius, or less than that, if they're staying within the mini golf course diameter of the cave, what a sad life that horse has.
Yeah.
How many can they possibly keep in so short a range? What an idiotic leap from the large caveman. At that point, I'm just like, it's survival of the fittest. I'm leaving you behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that guy jumped like 25 feet, and then he looked shocked that his legs broke under his weight.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, can't believe that happened.
I'll be damned.
The CGI, the stun gun, and the caged pepper, as I wrote, were both really bad.
Yeah.
Oh, really bad.
Yeah.
I think intentionally non-violent for rating. I think they really wanted to go for the low rating so they can get more of an audience to push their religion.
That's a good point.
That's probably
that's my fan theory.
That's a good fan theory.
Oh, so you're a fan, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we never really asked him what he thought. Like, just bare bones. Bob, did you enjoy the movie?
I'm a big fan of Dutch angles.
He's a big fan of
Dutch angle. Dutch angle.
Yeah.
Dutch angle. Dutch angle.
They would still have way more useful things from 1,000 years ago, Rob. You kind of mentioned this already, but they would have plastics and polyesters and all sorts of things that they would still be using instead of just cowhide.
Yeah, you can get a bunch of empty Sprite bottles and gather the rainwater.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Human Processing Center, Denver, Denver, Colorado. You'd think it might be New York. With maybe one of the more densely populated places. Sure, Denver's a city, but it seems like an odd choice. Unimaginative technology, including aliens, weaponry. I thought it was especially funny when the humans who are way outmatched by the Psychlos at the end, who are rioting, they have like M5s and AK-47s, and the Psychlos still only have their shitty little pistols.
Yeah.
They don't have anything else. Nothing that fires faster than one shot around.
At the end, too, they waited so long to use all those weapons.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why they waited that long. Like, they had them the whole time, and then they were like, "Oh, we'll wait until the very, very end."
Yeah. That's a fair
Future.
Future. If I had even an inkling that was the senator's daughter, Turl was saying, as Zeke, I think his name is leaving. We get the indication that Turl bangs some chick for some important guy, and that's why he's stuck there. It has nothing to do with how bad he is at his job. Which brings me to Psychlos believe in heaven and hell because it's referenced multiple times. So
it is
the God that we humans tend to think is smiling upon us, and the earth was made in his infinite wisdom, and he cares about everything that we do. He also cares a lot about what Psychlos do, and he's okay with them annihilating entire populations all over the galaxy or galaxies, what have you. It's just funny to me when Zeke is like, "Yeah, I'll end up in hell, or you'll end up in hell for what you did to the senator's daughter," or whatever the fuck he says. It's like, why do they have the same religion that we have? We here in America have a different religion than most of the world. I mean, well, I don't want to say most, but it's slightly different, at least all over the country.
Yeah.
Why would Psychlos have the same ideology? I don't know.
There's 3,400 different sects of Christianity alone.
Right.
Yeah, and they all say different versions of the same. They all interpret the one book 3,400 different ways.
Right, and Christianity is not the biggest religion on earth, right? It's Islam.
Right.
Yeah. So there's that. Planet Psychlo is cool looking, but we're only shown so that we know we're blowing up later.
Yeah. The establishing shot of Psychlo was fucking dope, dude. It looked like a higher tier crappy sci-fi, if that makes sense. It didn't look it didn't look like a cut above of its contemporaries, but it looked cool. It was a cool
something that Sci-Fi Channel would put on now in 2023.
I had a hard time though because the guy that we can't think of his name at the beginning, he was like, "Oh, what an ugly Earth, an ugly planet with
green
blue
and
skies, green and blue." And I'm thinking, is he go to this other planet and think, industry and smoke and steam, this
purple and metal. Yeah,
there's something to say. There's something to say about symmetry and like just hard like right angles everywhere. I guess
that's their thing.
Specifically,
Dutch
angles.
It's like the Frank Lloyd Wright religion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think it's funny that we watched Zeke and his two bodyguards go back, transport back to planet Psychlo, because we would never have any reason to do that other than to establish where it is that the brother blows the nuke later.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's literally no other reason. What's with the caveman grunting?
I have no fucking clue, dude.
Is that what happens when we devolve?
I think that's what the Psychlos understand the human man, what do they call it? Man animals. To sound like.
Oh,
I think it's our supposedly the translation of what they sound like to them.
Fair enough. I remember Carlo and the larger caveman like holding Johnny at like spear point, and they're like grunting at him, and there's no Psychlo filter there.
Oh, that's a good point.
They're still grunting.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's accurate. I'm just saying that's my guess, but I guessed the whole time.
Well, you're saying then that they had no thought of continuity.
Yeah.
No.
You said we never use picto cameras in our own office. We don't. I do. That was a candidate. Who has more authority, Planet Ship or Turtle? Because I couldn't figure that out. Like in the scene where Planet Ship and Turtle are talking about hiring more labor at half cost or whatever, Turtle has the authority to start the conversation, but Planet Ship is like, I would never give you the authority to do that. You know what I mean? It's like the dynamic doesn't make sense.
Turtle's only head of security. I feel like he's blowing up his authority a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then Planet Ship is kind of the treasurer.
I feel like he's more like the manager.
Maybe.
I mean, come on. The head security guard? Come on.
Yeah. Head of security seems like an important job to Cyclos. A Psychlo ship just barrels into a factory tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Why did that happen?
That was pretty bad.
But it leads to the scene that I loved. Johnny, he gets his shackle loose, and Carlo goes, "So run," says Carlo. "Thanks for immediately announcing my escape attempt," says Johnny.
Exactly.
Then that leads to no way this man animal lasts more than 4 minutes without breath gas. And it's an oddly specific human time quantification there. This is another example of they're using minutes. It just seems like way too human for Psychlos. It's just laziness is what it is, because they didn't want
also I've watched a lot of forensic files in my days, and based on general human physiology, it takes about 4 minutes for a human to suffocate. So how'd they know that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe they.
I've got detailed files on anatomy.
Turtle just happens to check a very obscure camera showing the exact underground tunnel Johnny is running through.
Right.
Yep.
What the fuck was that?
Maybe it's motion detected.
Yeah.
Maybe he does go over and press a button though, so maybe it was beeping or some shit. I don't know. Turtle is a moron. 3 days no food. Raw rat must be their favorite. It's so dumb. The next thing I wrote was leverage.
Leverage.
Just because I knew I had to mention how many times Turtle talks about leverage and getting leverage on people and how important leverage is.
Right.
Man animals can fix your ceiling, but they can't operate machinery.
Exactly. I thought of that right away.
What the fuck?
Can I jump in real quick, Chris? I'm not going to play it here, but there's a video on YouTube, Battlefield Earth leverage count, worst movie ever. and
Play us
watch
out.
this video to see how many times they say leverage. Shows other stupid things about the movie too.
Ah, okay. I was gonna say play us out if it's just a leverage trap. Matrix ripoffs. Ready? There's only two. The Knowledge Machine.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when Neo gets plugged in, right? And he learns kung fu in like 3 hours. The sprint through the debris and gunfire. When Johnny is running through like a hallway and all these like pillars are blowing up, it is so out of the Matrix. It's such a fucking ripoff. And it's 2 years later, so they definitely ripped it off.
Oh wow! All right.
Turl turned off the Knowledge Machine, but it's still on when Johnny sits back down.
Yeah.
Super annoyed by the quick explainer on all knowledge that Johnny gives the cave people. I didn't go. It's an advertisement, an advertisement, as we'd say in the UK. I didn't know that about Scientology, but I love that he's talking about math and science to people who will not understand. And I said this. I know I said this in the last pod, but it's like that recent revelation that someone's had, and you're not interested. It's like, man, like I really love my no carb diet. It's been making me feel, and like you just tuned out already, but they keep talking. That's what these guys are doing, sitting around the drawing he's making of a triangle in the dirt in the prison.
That's the thing. You make a good point too, where he absorbed all the knowledge, right? And he's relaying the information. So like he's explaining like, here's a triangle. A triangle could be a fulcrum. And they're like, what the fuck is a fulcrum? I have no goddamn idea what this guy's talking about.
Even though the cave people have a pulley system that lifts their gate up and down.
Yeah.
Like they have some idea, but I'm not saying that they're like planning it out mathematically, but they have some idea of mathematics.
Right. It's not what it's called.
Right.
Yeah.
The security chief's password is an example code displayed on the security example tablet, but backwards.
That's just boom.
The security chief.
That's just boomers calling themselves out.
Let's see how clever these creatures really are, Johnny says, as he puts the eight-digit example number in backwards. I guess if Kerr is your right-hand man, you're pretty confident he's not going to try that. But
they think my password's going to be password, but I'm going to make it password 1, 2, 3, and that's going to throw them for a
loop. Super lame rally speech by Johnny, the one where he's like, "We fight," and everybody's like, "Yeah, we're with you."
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, bomb collar, lame. I've seen that a million times. Kerr is put in charge of security by Johnny at the end of the movie, despite using one of the bomb collars to blow his friend's head off.
Right.
Carlo says, at one point, "Greener, you're a thinker." I just hated that line. Wasn't dialogue worthy, but I hated it. The collar bomb's victim, his brother, is honored when Johnny cuts off his top knot and hands it to him back at the zoo prison.
Yeah.
What? Why? What? This is not The Last Samurai. What is going on here?
Yeah, I don't get that.
I mean, either. Some Psychlos look like dogs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was really weird. Johnny's plan is to...
I like dogs.
Perfect. I like dogs.
Yep.
Yeah, that's dogs. I don't know why I put an N in there. Johnny's plan is the most convoluted ever conceived.
Yeah.
Rob, your ad read is a good example of that.
Yeah.
Why is there no picto camera on the ship? Like if you're Turtle, you just say, "I'm going to," like there's a picto camera. If you destroy it, we're coming here to kill you all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they don't leave.
Right.
Texas, Kentucky, DC, no tracker. They're all over the fucking United States, and Turtle has no idea.
Yeah.
How much of the human equipment and weaponry would still work out after 1,000 years, just sitting around doing nothing, collecting dust?
There was actually a thing about that when I read those jets, those Harrier jets.
Yeah.
The fuel inside them would have evaporated in the time they talked about.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's a fine example. So we had cave dwelling morons learn how to use the Harrier jets in the span of a week. That should have been most offensive as well. The entire Air Force lost to the sum of all the world's military lost to the Psychlos in 9 minutes. But these idiots that don't know math are using 12 Harrier jets to fight back the Psychlos for more than that.
Yeah.
Somehow, in the span of a week, learning on some simulator that should not work because there shouldn't be electricity at Fort, Hood or wherever the fuck they are.
Right.
How would the Psychlos not have discovered that ore vein in the 1,000 years that they've been next to it? And furthermore, how have they not learned of Fort Knox, where all of America's gold is smelted into bricks?
They have a gold gun. They have a gun. They have a thing that detects gold. It's like a divining rod times I don't know, whatever quadrillions times better technology they could have come up with in 1,000 years.
Okay. I have more. I have to keep going. When and how did Johnny learn to read English? Because the Psychlos don't know how, so who taught him?
Yeah.
He didn't get it in the knowledge machine. Curl makes a ridiculously stupid deal, a disc for all man-animal release. What do Psychlos do with gold?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably pretty good at like fiber routing and stuff like that. I know it's a good conductor, but it's not. Then if you're using it like copper, then it's not that worthwhile to you.
Yeah.
When and how? No. I already asked that. How did none of the guards see the humans escaping the zoo?
Yeah.
Totally surprised when they hit the city. The Psychlo 5-1 countdown looks remarkably similar to ours.
Yes.
You guys notice that?
Yeah.
It does.
1! Rob, we got to make Blow the Dome happen.
We forgot.
We forgot. Last episode, last time we did this at number 12, we were like, man, Blow the Dome is like sick slang, and we forgot about it. We got to make that part of the we need that needs to be like part of our vernacular here at the worst movie ever made.
Bingo card.
I'm down.
Yeah, for real. Took Carlo 3 tries and 1 suicide to destroy the dome.
Yeah.
Churl doesn't feel the explosive device on his arm, but then again, he barely reacts when his arm is blown off by it. Same as Kerr's hand. I don't understand why they don't feel pain. It's really dumb. And then, of course, extra reactive nuclear reaction on planet Psychlo. Thank God.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that nuclear bomb becomes like a super nuclear bomb on planet Psychlo.
Yeah.
And last thing I have, at least you got your gold ironic morale teaching. And I wrote fart noise. I won't even make one. I'm not going to even get on that. Mentions?
There we go. No, I'm good.
I just don't see where. I mean, I know I don't write science fiction, but I don't see where the sequel lies. They got rid of everything.
I don't either.
Everything's gone.
I guess if there are Psychlo colonies out there, that are like also dominating other planets. But then what do? Like they're just going to come and like learn from Turtle's mistakes. And
have you guys ever watched old Kiss videos, the band concert videos?
Yeah.
And those gigantic boots they wear?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's exactly what they were wearing. The Psychlos were wearing in this movie.
That is worth mentioning. And you can tell because half of the slow motion is just the mask of the fact that they can't walk very fast with these like 22-pound boots on each foot. That's a really good mention.
If I had more time, I would have linked together them walking in boots with Kiss footage. Maybe if I feel like that this week, I'll do that.
And
that's really funny.
And what's her name had the tongue, like the Gene.
Oh yeah, the
Gene
Simmons tongue.
Oh, now that you mentioned it, I have to do that now.
That's sick.
You keep on shouting. You keep on shouting. Ah, beast. Anywho,
I wanna blow the dome all night
and drink Kerbango
every day. We went to the same place.
Yeah.
Rob, your alternate ending, please.
Oh, yeah. Let me get the bumper for that.
Rob's alternate ending. Oh, yeah.
J.D. Shapiro, the man who wrote the screenplay and who has since publicly apologized for having any part in this movie being created.
As well he should.
When his mother's pregnant with him, an advanced cybernetic humanoid comes from the future and slits her throat.
Oh, Jesus. Terminator style?
Yes. The end.
Wow. That is cold.
Last season's good episode comes back to haunt us.
Yes.
True. All right, bad credit names.
Bad credit names, like...
I'm Harvey Manfred.
Oh, right.
I found myself remembering some of the ones that we did last time, so I tried to avoid that, although I didn't entirely avoid that.
Nah, there's overlap.
Ron, yeah. Ron Hahn.
Yep.
Penny Charter.
Okay.
Sounds like Southwest.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson. That sucks. Charlotte A. Lightfoot Magyar.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's her last name is Lightfoot Magyar.
All right.
Nigel Scanterbury. Smashing.
You ever see that picture of someone carved his face on a pumpkin and it's like the Smashing Pumpkins?
No. That's awesome.
Pretty good.
I know that this is the one that I was thinking of. We have two returns here, but I had to put them towards the end. Flint Eagle. I know I said last time.
Oh, fun.
You just can't go without mentioning Flint Eagle.
Yeah.
John Nutt has been a previous winner, I think.
Yes.
John Nutt.
Inky Battle.
Inky Battle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, John Nutt's involved in that. You know it.
Yeah.
And then finally, I'm sure that he won last time too, but you have to. It's Juiced Clarynx. I personally always prefer my Clarynx juiced. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah. Same.
What a name.
Fresh squeezed. Fresh squeezed.
All right, movie comparison time.
Time to compare the movies. Time to compare the movies.
And Bob, because I can't go a whole movie without some ridiculously stupid mistake. Do you remember what your worst production for The Phantom was, or should I just run up and grab my notebook real quick?
Oh, let me think.
It was they cut the comedy out.
They
rewrote.
Thank you.
Yeah, rewrote.
Rewritten.
All right. How about the pitch? Was it a 425 for Rob? I think it was. No, it was a 450.
Right. That's why I went up. I wanted to make sure we at least tied.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Team tie. All right. Let's talk about it. The worst of its kind for The Phantom was a negative 29.6, which is a strong score for sure, but Battlefield Earth trounces it with a negative 53. Worst as well.
Trounce.
Rob, a 4.5, as we just mentioned, and a 4.5 for me as well. So that's a wash. 1-0. We'll see who wins the offensive minigame. Dialogue, I think, is Battlefield Earth all the way.
100%.
Yeah.
Rewrote the comedy out for The Phantom, or using a movie to advertise your religion.
Religion.
It's always a bad look.
I agree. Acting, I think Battlefield Earth, it was insane. I think it was totally insane.
Yeah.
So
much worse.
Much worse. Way worse.
And you guys want to just skip the demerit section? I mean, what else can you say about Battlefield Earth at this point?
Honestly, God, there's so many demerits I can mention for Battlefield Earth. Like,
forget it.
If it comes down to it, I'll write some down.
Okay, fair enough. We'll see. Let's throw it to the offensive minigame. The offensive minigame. Okay, Creeping Quill's coitus comments.
Okay.
Or 5 fireable wives.
5 fireable wives.
Yeah.
Because his whole logic is like, A, they're disposable, but B, I'm going to purchase 5 more and probably do the same thing.
that is the implication.
Exactly.
Okay, claiming Kit's corpse for copulation or Clinko language slavery.
Corpse copulation.
Honestly, what's that called again?
Necrophilia?
Yes, thank you, necrophilia.
Yes.
That's a worse look.
Okay, well, that brings us to the bonus round, Lucky.
Oh,
well, we'll switch it around. Blasting bow-legged bovine or pretty person used for perpetual pirate pleasing.
As much as I've eaten meat in my lifetime, I do think the blasting the bovines.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Bob on that.
Is worse.
Okay, well that settles it. It is a more offensive movie as well. So Battlefield Earth at this point is up 5-0. We'll call that a wrap.
Right.
Wow. What a
5-0 for Battlefield
Nice.
Earth. It is the worst movie fucking ever. So no surprise there.
So what are we watching next week? And please tell me it's not Battlefield Earth again.
It's not. I lost in the poll. I put up Battlefield Earth again, and I lost. It looks as though we are watching Hook, Bob.
Oh, what do you know? I haven't seen the poll yet.
Yeah, well,
Steven
last I checked,
Spielberg.
it was. Go ahead.
So Spielberg has a movie in Best Picture running for this Oscar season, and Spielberg made Hook, and I feel like it's appropriate. So that's my pitch.
Okay, well, here's why it's good for the pod. A lot of people are going to be very upset with us for this one.
Richard Klaus,
I can see it already.
For example.
Yes, I can see it already. A lot of people are giving us hate for doing it, but you know what? You know what you don't do? You don't hire like 20 different terrible child actors and then give them half of the movie to act it. Because it is, if you're a kid, it's fine. You don't know what bad acting is. You don't know what good acting is. It's whatever. Yeah. But as an adult, it's unwatchable, in my opinion.
I'm just mad we don't get to see Cornrow Norton in Stone
at some
with
point.
Robert De Niro. Yeah.
There's always next week.
Next week.
I really like Godzilla as well for a candidate for especially for the big season, because I think it was 1998. Matthew Broderick, and it's a Godzilla movie. And
there are so many bad Godzilla movies. Yeah.
They have Jamiroquai on the soundtrack, though. You know, I'm going deeper underground. You know, that song is pretty good.
I love Jamiroquai.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, me too. I'm a big Jamiroquai fan. Stuart Zender's like fucking, pretty good.
All right, Rob, why don't we plug the show and then send it to Bob for his last word?
theworstmovieevermade.com. You can find our socials. You can find our streaming. You could find the video on YouTube every Sunday after the episode goes live. Shortly after we record it on Tuesday night. Take your pick. You should follow us on Instagram and TikTok, but you should also just listen to the podcast. You should listen to it at 2x speed so you can listen to twice as many more quickly.
And email us.
And email us at theworstmovieevermade.com.
Please email us.
There's a button there. You can click it. It's a little envelope that signifies a letter that gets sent electronically.
We will read your email verbatim online on the podcast.
Yeah,
we absolutely will.
No hard R's, but we'll read anything else.
Yeah, this isn't hot to trot. I finally remembered the name of the episode. Bob?
All right.
All I can think of is crap lousy.
Yeah, that's the last word. Perfect.
So,
crap lousy. Dutch angle.
I'm not defending that.
I like dongs.
See you guys next week. That was a good episode.
Leverage. We have leverage.
I should have quit leverage.
Blow the dome.
Blow the dome, baby.
Isn't that a Stephen King book?
Probably.
Yeah, they had under the dome.
Yeah.
See you guys next week.